Hello everyone, this is Innocent Junior. This is Midge Technologies and this is Midge Tech Hacks. I welcome you back in this tutorial. I welcome you back in this lesson. We are going to be moving smoothly, and we are going to go further in our Python course. Last time we summarized module 1, and when we try to go back from our course outline that we are going to be following throughout this course, our course outline that is the complete Python course, that is from beginner to a professional Pythonista. Last time we are still in our phase 1, that is the foundations, and we shall always go with these foundations from weeks 1 to weeks 4. And I want to tell you that we shall move smoothly. We shall move together. I'll be releasing, I think, 2 videos every week. That is on Monday and on Friday. On Monday we shall be talking through, we shall be going through the course materials, the study materials, the things that the basics of the concept. Let's say that if you are handling module 2, that is the core data types and variables, we talk about them, we discuss them, we discuss the variables, we discuss the naming conventions, we discuss everything that is in that module. Then on Friday I'll leave you with some exercises, and I'll leave you with the project. Then on Friday I'll come back with the project, the solution to the projects, of which we shall be coding together, of which we shall be debugging together. So I'll be leaving you with the project at hand, and you'll always pass through the project at your own pace, and you'll do the exercises at your own pace. You try out, you consult, you comment in the videos down so that we see. You can even comment your code. You can comment the whole of your code. You paste from VS Code and then comment. Then other people will be looking through your code and comparing with theirs, so that the interaction goes on smoothly. So I would like to first of all show you these PDF notes that I'm using at our platform. We can access them through this. When you go to our YouTube channel, that is Midge Tech Hacks, it has this GitHub link that takes you to my GitHub page, and 2 other more links. When you try to scroll down, there is a description here, and there is my GitHub portfolio, then there is my LinkedIn account, then there is the document files and courses. So if you want to get access to these documents or to these PDFs that I'm using, you could go to this link, that is the document files for courses. Then when you click, it will take you directly to the drive. Then in the drive we shall find there our Python complete course. In our Python complete course, when you click inside, there is our full course outline PDF. You can download it, you can view from there, and there is our module 2, that is the variables and data types. I'll be uploading these modules step by step as we go on completing them. So if you want to get access to these documents that I'm using, or to these notes that I'm using for you to prepare in a prior manner, you go there and then you get access to them. You can either download or you can view through Google Drive. So we were still saying that last time we covered things that are that were in module 1. And in module 1 there was getting started. It was entitled Getting Started. In Getting Started, we installed our Python and setting up your development environment, that is the VS Code. Then we went further to understanding the Python interpreter and REPL. Then later we went further to cover writing and running our first Python script. Then we covered the basic syntax rules and code structure. And then we also covered comments and documentation basics. If you have not watched that video for Getting Started, it is in our playlist. So you go in our playlist, it is entitled as module 1 and #1. So today in this video we are going to go further with our course. We are going to tackle it pace, with the simplest pace possible. So I want you to stay engaged. Please subscribe, share this video so that it reaches to that person that wants to be a self-taught software engineer with our journey here. So in module 2 today we are going to cover the core data types and variables. We are going to, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to cover, or you will be able to define variables and naming conventions. You will be able to know what numbers, that is the integers, the floats, and the Bethkel's arithmetic mean in Python. And you will also look at strings and string manipulation. You will also look at string formatting, that is the F strings, and everything that is included. The format, the modulars, so how you format strings. Then later in this course, or in this module, we shall cover the Booleans and comparison operators, the true or false, the two answer option, that is the Boolean. Then we shall also summarize it with the type conversion and then checking types. So let's dive in into our module 2. That is the core data types and variables. As I told you, these notes are provided on our platform, so you go to my YouTube channel and then find out where these notes are. I'm also going to put a link in the description of this video. You can go down and then you get access to our complete course notes so that you prepare in advance. So today we have Niche Technologies complete Python course, and we are going to go through module 2, our module 2, and that is it. So our module 2 is variables and data types. We are going to first of all discuss, then we shall go in our VS Code, try out everything accordingly. We shall look through in this piece of module. We are going to look through definitions, that is the variables, then data types, then type conversion, then the strings, then numbers, booleans, then none. Then we shall later practice some exercises with 12 guided exercises and 6+ challenge exercises for self-study. That is where you try out at your own. Then the projects, we shall also have a project that will wrap up this module, and it will be a project wrap up. Then it will be our personal profile and calculator system. So I want you to move with me. Steadily, so that we unveil this, so that we disintegrate this, so that we demystify this into something that is enjoyable and with the slowest pace possible. Remember guys, we don't always learn programming by watching code. We learn programming by building. So let's start building. Guys. This is our course, and it is from beginner to software engineering. This is Niche Technologies, and this is Niche Tech Hacks 2026. Our table of contents, we shall start with what is a variable, definitions and core concept. Then later we shall go to Python data types, that is the integer, the float, the strings, the booleans, and the none. Then we shall go to key concepts, that is naming rules, type checking, and reassignment. Then later we shall go to the common mistakes. We shall go to the common mistakes that learners always try to, those are the errors for beginners, like how to avoid them. Then we shall go to the summary, the quick reference sheet, the guided exercises, that is 12 exercises we solve together on screen, and then the challenge exercises that are going to be your tryouts. Those are 6 self-study challenges. Solutions will be provided in the next lesson as we are handling our module project. Then later I'll leave you with the module project, that is the personal profile and calculator system. What is a variable? Have you ever heard of a variable? The word a variable, like a variable, something that varies, something that is not constant, something that is chosen by anyone. So it is not a rule, it is not something that you should dwell on. It is varying, it is changing. So in my definition, I defined a variable as a named container or memory location used to store a value that your program can read, change, and use. Think of it as a labeled box. You give it a box, you give the box the name, put something inside, and you can open it anytime you need that thing. So a variable is a named container. We name something and then we put, let's say that it is a basket and you have put our tomatoes inside that variable, a basket. So we can always open our basket and get the tomatoes outside the basket because it is the container in which we have stored our tomatoes. So it is a varying thing, and it is not something that is constant, but it is used to store values so that we can always get access to them. In real world analogy, we shall imagine a school locker. The locker number is the variable name. Whatever you store inside is the variable value. You can take the things out, replace them, or leave them there. So in a locker, in a school locker, you have a locker. The locker number is the variable name. Because in this year, you might find a student has this locker and they are assigned, their locker is assigned to this number. So if you want to access a certain student's locker, I go and then search for the number and then get access to the locker. Inside that locker, there might be notebooks, textbooks, and everything. So if you want to get access to them, you can pick a book, or you can pick all the books out, or you can remove a certain textbook and then put in a certain textbook. So you can take out things or replace them or leave them there. So that's what we call a variable in real world analogy. We shall go further to creating variables in Python. Remember, Python uses a simple assignment operator. For us to create a variable, we shall use a simple assignment operator. We assign, we give, we define, or we give that variable, and we shall always use the equal sign to create variables. You do not need to declare a type. Python figures out that automatically. So remember, we have different data types. We have a string, we have integer, we have a boolean. So you don't need to declare this like in C++, whereby you say int this. No, by typing John, Python knows it that John is a string. By typing 20, it knows it that 20 is an integer. By typing height, it is a float. Height is in decimal. Something that is in decimal, it is always a float. So by typing true, it is always Boolean. And we said earlier that a Boolean consists of only two values. That is the true or false. So that is it. You don't need to declare a type, that this type is a string. No, Python figures that out automatically. That's what this syntax tries to explain. How do you know that? How Python stores value. When Python executes age equals to 20, it allocates a block of memory, stores the value 20 in that memory, that is storing it in the variable age, and then creates a label called age pointing to that memory location. It creates that label age, this age pointing to that memory location. So we shall go further to checking what is inside the variable. We shall have, just the same, we shall have Let's try this. Let's try to check what is inside the variable. Let's say we have our variable name, that is Alice. Let's try to go in VS Code. We are going to be typing this together. We are going to be typing this together, and if the module is so long, we shall divide this module into 2 different tutorials. Then after that tutorial, you go to the next, and then a complete module will be covered. I don't want these modules to be very, very long. At least I want the highest to be with 1 hour. So let's go. Let's try this in our VS Code. Remember, when we are trying out in our VS Code, we said that what we first do is we go and create where we are the space in which we are going to code from, or we are going to practice from. I would like to save my file in local disk E, and I would like to save to create a folder where I will be practicing my projects, and I'll create a new folder and name it practice. I'll name it practice Python along lesson. So this is where we shall be saving our files as we practice during the lesson. Then what I'll do next, I'll click, I'll right click and then go to new Python source file, and then give a name to my Python. I will say that module 2 practice, and then click enter to open our VS Code. So that's our VS Code, and it starts with the line 1, nothing is there. And that's what we always talked about. We said that we shall always be coding along. We shall always be debugging errors together. We shall always make mistakes together. So I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you ready, guys? I'm ready to unveil this. I'm ready to attack this together with you guys. So we said, I told you that we have our PDF. We have our PDFs, and me, I'm going to be using this together as we are studying, or as we are going through the lesson. So I would recommend that you open your PDF so that you see everything that I'm going to be doing, because everything that I'm going to be doing in this VS Code is in our notes that we prepared. So we shall have our variable name, like as it is in the PDF or our PDF notes, that is Alice. Then we shall have, we are going to practice. Let's try to print out Alice's name. Print name, and let's see what will be printed on the console. Printing name. So you see it has printed in the terminal. Alice, we have created a variable. When you try to come here, it is a variable, and the variable is a name, and it is a literal. A literal is in a string. It is in a string. So if you want to know the type, you could say that print type. Let's see when we say print type, and then try to kill the terminal, then go back and rerun. So the class type, it is a string. It is a string. It is a string. So when we try to print our name, we said when we try to print our name, that is print name. Alice. So the name was printed Alice. That is what we did in the previous. That's what we did in the previous video. So we shall go further in our PDF. It has age equals to. We are going to also create a variable age and then assign it to 25. then we shall try to print age. When you try to print age, what is your output? Try to run it in your terminal. Print the variable age. What is the terminal printing? Let's try to see. Age, it must be 25. So we first of all print. Remember, we said that Python interprets everything line by line. It starts from line 1 and then goes further to line 2. So to line 2 and then to line 3, like that. So it will always go haphazardly in running the program. It first of all sees you have created a variable, and then you have you have called the print function, so it will print Alice, and then you have also named another variable and assigned it to age, and then later you have printed that named variable, which is 25. So we shall type clear in our terminal and then get rid of this, then kill the terminal for us to continue. So the output is 25. Then let's try to print multiple values. Let's try to comment and say, remember we said that if you write single line comments, we use our hash print multiple. Comments are not something that obligatory. Yes? They are not something that are obligatory, but they help you. They help you within your code. They help you explain your code. They help you not to get lost in your code. So let's try to say printing multiple values. We are going to print the name, then and the age, and then concatenate it. This is called string concatenation, adding. So let's try to print the name and then concatenate it with is, age, and then the years old. We are going to make a sentence out of this data that we have already typed. So we shall say that print name. For you to concatenate a variable or a variable value, you will always use a separator. Now when we type name, it is already a value object. Prints, it is already defined there, like the name is already Alice, and if you want to add anything after that name, we are going to just use commas, and then use a string is, comma, age. Because age is already defined, we are not going to use quotations. What is in the quotation is the string that we are adding, and then to join this full sentence, so that we get a full sentence out of this that is making meaning. Is, age. If you want to separate, if you want to add a string, we add a separator, that is a comma. Years old. So print name and then age, but with this statement. Let's see how our terminal does it. So it has printed Alice is 25 years old. So you see how we have done it. This is called string concatenation. String concatenation is done in very many ways, as we shall be covering. Some other people might use this method. Let's try this method out and see. Let's try to kill the terminal. Some other person may say, I'm not going to use that. Let me see. They say that name plus is, let's see, is plus let's see. Let's try to print. Now there is some error that is going to come. You say that we are going to debug together. Now you see, those people who were asking me that why wouldn't we use plus, because even with string concatenation. Now string concatenation only takes place between a like string concatenation using a plus only takes place between a string and a string, not a string and an integer. We are going to be seeing this. That's why in the later earlier I decided to use commas, because they were a combination of of integers and a combination of strings. So the type error says that we introduce this: trace back most recent call, practice Python along lesson module 2, and that is the location. In line 6, we go to line 6. What is in line 6? In module, then print name, then plus is plus age plus years old. The description is can only concatenate string, not int to string. So if we wanted just to use, let's say age was 25. Let's try to make a change here. As age was 25 in a string. Age was 25. Let's say age was 25. Let's create a string of 20, 25. So now everything here is in the what? Is in the string data type. Let's try to rerun our program and see. Let's try to rerun our program and see. Alice is now, because we didn't include the spaces, we need to include the spaces. The name is Alice, then is includes a space, is includes a space, then age 25, then after age there is also let's see this first. We are going to include the space between age and is, age and age, then that years old. Let's try to run our program and see. Alice is 25 years old. So with string concatenation, it can take place using commas and then getting the strings into the commas already. Like the commas added, they add the spaces automatically. You don't need to add them. Python does that. But if you are to use the plus, the plus only concatenates when it is dealing with a string to a string, not a string to any integer like as we had before. So I think this is how we are going to be learning. We have tried out something, we have seen how it fails, and we have seen the solution to it, and we shall always go like this. We are going to be debugging together, we are going to find out together, we are going to learn together, and we are going to be there together. So that's how Python raises a traceback error. It explains, and then for you to follow up such errors, you go to the most recent line. Like now the error was on line 6. You go and look through what is in line 6. Then it explains to you the problem that has caused that error. Can only concatenate string but not a string to a string to string, but not a string to an integer. So we still have our, yes, we first of all take back this 25, because we just use it to find out something about string concatenation. Just use it to find out something about string concatenation. 25. So that's what we had earlier, and we tried out something to check how errors could arise. Then the output is Alice is 25 years old, like as we said earlier. So that is in our terminal when we run the program. So let's go back to our PDF and try to see what is next. So that is done, and we have known, I hope we have picked something from there. Let's try to go to our PDF and try to see what is taking place. So we are done, and it has printed our output as we expected it. That is Alice is 25 years old. So we are going to move smoothly. We are going to reassigning variables. Reassigning variables. Variables can be updated anytime. Like as we said that if we have a locker, a student, if it is a man, a student may come and pick out a book. A student may come and add a book in that locker. A student may come and, change or remove all books in that locker, meaning that variables can be muted, like can be mutable. So variables can be updated anytime. The old value is simply replaced. So if you remove books, some books, like if they were books of mathematics, like mathematics textbook, mathematics study materials, then you remove all of them and then put biology textbooks. So the values, or the values that are the old value that was assigned, which was mathematics, that was assigned to the locker, is now removed, and the new value, which is now the biology books, is the one replacing the old variables. Let's try this in our IDE. Let's try this in our IDE. We have something like the score. I told you to always follow along. I told you to always follow along using our PDFs. So we type together score equals to 0. Then we shall go further to print the score. Let's print the score. When we print the score, automatically it must give us 0. Let's see. The score is 0. Yeah, this is okay. This is called debugging. Whenever you type something in the IDE and then you go to run the program, by running the program, you are trying to see, can my program print? What is the error with my program? What is the issue? It is always advisable to be debugging as you are coding. It is not advisable for you to write your whole program and then start debugging at once. It will be very tedious. It will be very difficult for you to locate errors, because errors move line per line, because Python interprets as it is moving, as it is executing the program. It moves line per line, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. Whenever it encounters any error, it stops and then brings a trace back. So that's why it is always useful to always debug along when you are typing or when you are coding in your IDE. So after knowing that it prints, if it didn't print, we could ask ourselves why it didn't print, and then we could try to see what Python is trying to explain as the causes of print errors. So we have printed our score, and that is 0. We shall go to score equals to 50. That is called reassigning. That is called reassigning. At first we assigned our score to 0, and now in the next in line 3 we are changing our score. We have not changed. Remember, we said that Python is sensitive to case types, that is the uppercase and the lowercase. If I type this score by using an uppercase letter, this score is not the same as this score. This is a different variable and this is a different variable. Let's try to print score. Let's try to print score with a small letter. Print score. Print score. Print score. So it is going to print 0 2 times, because we ran print score in the first one and print score in the second one, because we are using this the lowercase letters. We are using the lowercase letters. So let's try to print score and see. So I think someone knows why it has not printed 50, because Python is always sensitive to case letters. So let's try to print score using our capital S and C. So if you change the letter case, Python will interpret it as something else. Let's try to see. So to print 0 and 50. The first one is with the small letter, and then the second one is with the capital letter. So it will print 0 and 50, like as you see in our output. Hope you are following along. Hope you are coding along with me. Try out in your free time. You have these notes. We said that if you want to access these notes, we go to our YouTube channel. Then in our YouTube channel, you'll find something like this. We already have 2 videos, and this is our playlist, which is the complete Python course from beginner to advanced. Then we shall go. We have our link here for GitHub. This is my GitHub account. Then we go to two or more links. Then we go to document files for courses. Then you click. Then it will automatically take you where these notes are stored. It will give you a folder which is Python complete course. Then when you double click, you will find our full Python course that we are following as we are coding, and then our module that we are handling at this very moment. So that's where we are. Let's go back to our IDE and then continue to code along. So I just wanted to bring this up, that when you use anything that is differing from the other variable, let it be changing the capitalization or changing or making it lowercase, changing the case of the letter. Python is very sensitive to letter cases. So those who have our PDF, those that have our PDF, we are talking about reassigning. At first we assigned our score to 0, and then we are now reassigning the same score to 50. And if we try to print, if we have our score as 0, and then we go to line 2, then we say score is 50. Now Python won't print 0, because we said that Python prints or Python executes a program in its order or haphazardly. So at first we said that score is equal to 0. Then in the second line we are telling Python the same score is equal to 50. So Python is going to discard the first score, that the first value that was assigned to the variable score, and then it is going to be taking the second value throughout our program until you reassign the same value to another value, like use the same variable to another value. So you are not going to see 0 here, because Python is now taking our score to be 50. Let's try to print it in our terminal and see what comes out. So you see the score is now 50. But someone would ask, why isn't the score 0? Because we first of all said score is 0, and now we went further on line 2 to say that score is 50. Why has Python neglected the 0 and then gone to 50? We said that Python will always execute code in the order of flow of events that, or of flow of your code. So it will first of all store a 0 in the variable score, but further it encounters the same case letters, the lower case letters, and everything looks the same, and the same thing has been assigned to 50. So it just says now score is no longer 0. Now our new score is 50. So 0 is discarded, and you will never ever see it again in your program. So that is called reassigning a value. So we could go further to create some expression. Let's say that the same score that was assigned to 50 is going to be equal to score, that same score, and then we increase it by 10. Then let's go further to print score. Print score. So this is called reassigning. Score was given a value of 0. Later it was reassigned to a value of 50, and then later it was incremented by 10. So let's try to print the new value of score. Because it is the same score, it is in the same case letters, it is now going to take this new value in which there is an increment. Therefore we expect our score to be 60, like as you see in our PDF. Please guys, always open the PDF together as we are coding together to see. So we see that the first score, because the Python executes in the order or haphazardly, we see that we have 50 and then 60. Yeah, I'm explaining these concepts because they are very, very essential as we are moving on. That's why I'm taking a lot of time for you to grasp this and put it in your longer term memory. We are not about chasing time, we are about handling this in the best way possible so that everyone understands this to the core. So in our PDF, let's go back in our PDF and then try to code along. That's what we call reassigning. That's what we call reassigning a value. That's what we call reassigning a value. So that is it. We have reassigned the value. We shall go to the next concept, that is the Python data types. We have been discussing these types in the earlier case because they are unavoidable. Like we said, every value in Python has a data type. Every value that is assigned to a variable has a type in which it falls into. The data type tells Python what kind of data is stored and what operations are allowed on it. So if Python not say that it is a string, it knows it first of all gets every operation that a string must be operated on. If it is an integer, for it sets instructions on which integers must operate. So every data type or every value that you see, every variable that you see that is assigned to a value, it falls under a different or it falls under a unique data types. And some of the first data types that we have, or the most common data types that we have in Python, we have the integer, and Python sees it or interprets it as int. So our definition, the integer, those are whole numbers, the positive and the negatives or the zeros, not the small point. So Python interprets integers as whole numbers. Whole numbers can be positive, whole numbers can be negative, or even a zero is a whole number, but not decimal points. Decimal points are assigned to some other data type, like as we shall always see in the later case. So we said that we are handling the first one, the integers. We have age, and that is equal to 20. Students is assigned to 35. If you want to know that where this data type falls, we shall always print type, then age. The type, this function type gives us the class in which the data type will be falling. Let's try to go to type age in our IDE and then we see. Let's clear this off. Let's clear this off. Age is equal to this thing. Age is equal to 20. Age is equal to 20. Let's try to see the type of data type here. Let's print type. What type is age? Let Python tell us if it is an integer, if it is a float, if it is something else. So it tells us that it is of a class int, and types and you remember we said that int is an integer. So Python refers int to as an integer. So that is an integer. Anything that you type, any other variable that you could say students, number of students is equal to 50. Let's say that students are equal to 35, like as it is in our PDF. Print data type. Let's see which data type is this. Print type. Print type. Type student. Let's see which data type is this. Is an integer. It is an integer, class integer. Yeah. It is also class integer. Let's try to use a negative. Let's try to use a negative. Let's try to use a negative. Let's try to put this as a negative. Let's try to see, are negatives also integers? yeah, it is still an integer. Let's try to assign something to a 0. Let's try to check a 0. Let's try to say age is let's try to say number equals to 0. Number is 0. Let's try to check which type of data type is the number. Int type, then number. Which type of data type is this? Let's try to see. It is also of class integer. It is also class integer. So that's it. We have moved, and we are moving. So we are still moving, and this is where we are, and this is where we were, and we have been trying to see which data types are these. So let's try to go to our PDF, and then we see what is next on the agenda. So we have covered, and we have known how to know the data types where they fall. So the integer operations, we as soon as Python notices that this is a and this is a, this falls under integer data type, it will activate its operations, and it will take into consideration of these operations. We have the addition symbol, like for example, we have 10 plus 3, that is the result is supposed to be 13. We have the subtraction, if we have 10 minus 3, that is 7. We have also the multiplication that is indicated by an asterisk. Then if we have it as 10 times 3, the result is automatically 30. Then the division. Guys, take note of this. There is division, there is flat division, and there is modulus. These things are very different. How? If we have 10 divided by 3, if we have that division operator, it is going to give you both the result and the remainder. Division gives us the value after dividing and the remainder after dividing. But the FLA or the flow division, which is indicated by these double slashes, it means that we are only interested in the whole number. That's why we have it as 3. The modulus, it means the modulus that is indicated by the percent sign means that we are only interested in the remainder. So take keen note of this. Take keen note of those data, those integer operations. Then we also have the exponent. How do we write the exponent? If you want to write like 2 power 8, we just write a double asterisk, and then that is 2 power 8. That gives us a value of 256. That's all about integers, and we shall go to our next phase, that is the float. And it is denoted by small letter float. So floats are numbers with a decimal point. Those numbers that are with decimal points, not integers. We said that integers are whole numbers, and whole numbers can be a 0, it can be a negative, and it can be a positive. So going further, a float is a number with a decimal point. It is used whenever precision beyond a whole number is needed. If you want a precision beyond a whole number, we shall always go for a float. For example, let's go in our IDE and try out this. Let's try to go in our IDE and try out this together. I advise that we code along. Coding along makes you know why something exists. We don't code by just seeing code or memorizing code. We code along, then we debug it together, and then we know where the issue is arising. Have you gotten the value that I've gotten? Have you? Is your program running the same way as mine? Is the same error being raised on my IDE the same as the error that is being raised on your IDE? So that's following along, and that is how you are going to get used to this. So let's go to our IDE and see how we can try out this. Let's try to get rid of this. Clear. Let's see. In our PDF we have something like height is equal to, let's try here. Height is equal to 1.75. Then the price is equal to 9.99, and then our pi is equal to 3.14159. Then we have sample negative float. Now when you see this, you always take care, because I told you we are going to be coding along. Have you seen this? This character here. When we have rules that we follow when we are assigning to variables. A variable is a complete name. It is not something that is divided. Let's try to see if I have something like that. You see, Python shows that this is, statements must be separated by new lines. Statements must be separated by new lines or semicolons. So, for it has taken it to be as a float, like it is a data type. So by putting this, we are making it to be one word. Sometimes you can use that, this is okay, and this is also okay, So if there is any way that you can connect this to be one word, we can either use an underscore, or we can just leave it as one word, but it's always better for us to use the underscore when we are trying to join words that we are using to assign to variables. So take note of that. It is one of Python's rules. So we have our negative float, that is equal to negative 0.5. Negative 0.5. Then let's try to print the type of the height. And then print also the type the type of the height. Let's try to see the type of that, the data type of the height. Let's try to see that type. Height. What data type is height? Let's try to go and see what data type is height. So height is falling under class float. So that's how Python interprets this. And try to learn it, try to run it and see whether you come up with the same thing that I have. Let's move slowly by slowly. We shall be there. So we have arithmetic with the floats. Let's try to carry out some operation. Let's try to carry out some operations with these floats. Arithmetic with floats. Let's try to carry out some operations. Let's say total is equal to price multiplied by three. Let's try to print the total. Total says that price multiplied by 3. Let's try to print the total. Print total. Try to print total. What does total give us? Total is 29.97. And what class What class is total? If it is a decimal, we said that it is always supposed to be. Let's try to print the type, the class of the total, like to know the data type of the total. Let's try to print type total. What is total? What is total? What is total? Which data type? Which data type does it fall? It falls under a float. So guys, when you try to code along with me, things will always click and you will always be happy to follow along. So that's so far where we are, and that's so far where we have reached. Let's try to go to our PDF and try to follow up the next on the agenda. So we have covered what is a float is, and we said that a float must consist, or is a number that consists of something like a decimal. So that is it, and it will always be like that. Let's try to tackle the next data type, that is the string, and it is denoted by str as Python. Small letters, not capital STR. Please take note. Please take note. So we said that we can say that a string is a sequence of characteristics. Is a sequence of characters enclosed in a single quote or double quote. So a string can be enclosed in a single quote. Take note of that. And a string can also be enclosed in double quotes. It is used for text, names, messages, and anything that is not a number. So anything that is not a number, Python will interpret it as a string, and it is enclosed in either single quotes or double quotes. So we have some sample strings here. Let me just copy them for the interest of time. Let me just copy them. We have some strings here. Let's try to just copy them and then put them in our IDE we code along. So that's what we had. We had our string. That is the name, Alice. Then Alice is from the country Uganda. So in the first case, we have used Alice as the double quotes, and then in the second case, we have used Uganda in single quotes. Then greeting, we are having it in double quotes, meaning that it is your choice for you to use a way in which you are going to enclose these strings. Someone might use a single quote, or someone might use double quotes. We shall know when we are to use single quotes and when we are not obliged to use double quotes, because there is also that case when if you have used double quotes, you are not supposed to use double quotes again. The other time is to use single quotes. We shall know when to use that, and we shall always try to figure out. So let's try to print the type of the name, the class in which it falls. Of course, it must give us a class of a string or a small str. Let's try to see. Let's try to run our program and print, and we see. So it is of class string. The name is of class string. Then we looked at string concatenation, joining strings. To concatenate is to join two things together. So string concatenation. How are we going to join strings? Like if we had something like the full message. The full message is hello, then plus name. We are going to get this hello and then create a space, and then we add the name. So this is a string and a string. Name is a variable, but it is a literal variable, which is a string. But if name was an integer, that wouldn't take place. So string concatenation takes place only between two different strings, but not a string and then an integer, or a string and then a float, or two different data types. So let's try to print full message, print full message, to give us hello, then the name Alice. Yeah, that's how it is supposed to tell us. Take note of that space. So it has given us hello Alice. So that's it. That's our program, and that's how it has been. So that is it. It has given us hello Alice as our result. F strings. These are modern and the most recommended way for you to concatenate string. So we use F strings. They are denoted by small letter F, and then you open your double quotes. These brackets, the square, like the curved brackets, are used to put the values of the assigned of the variables, the values to the variables, and then everything that is outside these brackets, it is always taken as something that we are going to add onto the string to come up with a whole string. Like now, if we have our age as 20, then we shall go further to concatenate name. Like we say that this person is this years old. So what we do is, let's try to type this together. Age is 20. Then we want our output to say output is let's first of all investigate. When you come here in our IDE, there is a warning. A warning makes you telling you that something might go wrong in the future. So it is not an error, but let's see now. Now here comes an error. So there is a difference between a warning and an error. So take note of those things. A program will never run if there is an error, but a program can run if there is like our code can execute if there is a warning, but our code cannot execute if there is an error. So take note whenever you are typing to see whether there are errors. If there is 0 warnings and 0 errors, your program is always good to go. Let's try out to match this output. They are telling us that the output must be Alice is 20 years old. Let's try to see print. We are going to use F strings to print this. We said that F strings are denoted by small f, and then we open our double quotes. We are going to what is the first thing? The first thing is Alice, and Alice is a name, any name. So name is a variable, so we are going to put it in our brackets, the name that we assigned. Then anything that is outside is the addition, or is something that we are concatenating to the values of the variables. Then we shall skip a space and then say is the age, and it is also a variable. Then let's put age. We are not going to hard code this that put 20. No, this is something that is it is like a function. For it, if we go up there and we change the name, we still bring that same name. I've talked of a function, and we shall see what functions are. So functions are something that are reusable when we go there, when we go to that part of functions. So this is acting like it is reusable. So we are not hard coding like we put the name inside Alice, and then that's the newer way of concatenating strings, not the other way up that we first of all write the comma and then put the name, something like that. So this is a better way. Is years old. Anything that is outside the bracket is what we are using to construct our sentence, and it is ending with a full stop. So let's try to print and see our output in the terminal. So Alice is 20 years old. Hope everyone has gotten such an output. If you have not gotten such, try to debug and see where errors could be arising from. So we have moved steadily, and we have covered the integer, we have covered the float, and we have covered the strings, and we have looked at some string methods or some string operations like the string concatenation, which we refer to as joining strings. Let's try to go to our PDF and see. So the useful string operations, we have the length. We use the len functions to know how many characters is the string consisting of. Like for example, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you put a len of that string, it will give you the result 5, because Alice is Alice consists of 5 characters. The uppercase, if you want to turn to uppercase, you could get that string and then use a string operation dot upper, and then it will go to uppercase. If you want to put lowercase, you just use that operation dot lower, then it will go to lowercase. Then if you want to remove any white spaces, you could use strip to get, like if the word is, if our string would start with that space and then end with that space, it is going to get rid of all those spaces, the leading and the first ones, and the other spaces that are after the string. So that's why you are seeing the value as it is not having the first leading spaces as before. Then if you want to replace a string, you use our replace operation. You are replacing H with B. So where there is H, we shall put there a B. So the replace consists of 2 values: what you are replacing and the value which you are assigning it. Starts with A, true. To check whether it is true, starts with A. Is our string starts with A, it will return a Boolean which is true. So that is it. And the next data type that we are going to be having is the Boolean. We said that a Boolean is a data type with only 2 possible values. It is consisting of true or false. Booleans are produced by comparisons and they control the false. So they compare, like as we had this before. That is a comparison. Is our string starting with A? Yeah, it is starting with, so it is true. So that is a comparison. So Booleans, it is consisting of only 2 possible values, and the values are true or false. Please note the cases that are used. We have not used a lowercase letter to start with the word true. We have used capital, or we have used uppercase letter. And then false, we have also used uppercase letter. So if is the student true, is married, false. So print type is a student. It is a Boolean, and Python takes it as a bool. So comparison produces Booleans. Age is equal to 20. Then when we start comparing, is our age less than or equal to 18? Is our age greater than or equal to 18? It is true. Our age is greater than or equal to 18. Then is our age equal to 30? It is false. Our age is 20. It is not equaling exactly to 30. That's why it returns a false. Try to go and type these in your IDE, and you see whether you get these values as Booleans. Then we shall have the other data type, which is the none type. It represents the absence of a value. The none data type represents that nothing is existing or nothing is assigned. Similar to null in other languages, and it is used when a variable exists but has not been assigned to a meaningful value yet. So results equals to none. And please take note that Python is very sensitive to case types, that is the uppercase and the lowercase. So we denote none as using the uppercase. Let's say that we have a variable called result and it is none. So when we print result, it will give us none. When we print to when we want to know the data type, we could do type result, and then it gives us a class of none type. The common use, it is a placeholder before data is ready. So a placeholder, the data has its place already, and it hasn't been ready processed, but the none is holding its place. So user input equal to none. Later in the program, user input is equal to Alice as data is processed. Try to go and run this in your IDE and you see what you get. So today we have covered very many things. We have covered the data types, we have covered everything about data types, and in the next tutorial or in the next lesson we shall handle type conversion. We are still under our module 2, and that is the variables and data types. So today we have looked at variables. In this video we have looked at variables, and then in the next video we shall go further to look at type conversion. See you in the next video. I'm Innocent Junior, and if you'd like to get access to these documents that we are using or to these files we are using, we shall go to our YouTube channel page and then go to where there are links. The first one is the GitHub link. Then 2 more links down, you shall scroll down and go to where document files are. You click, it will exactly take you to Google Drive, and then you double click the folder for Python complete course. We shall always be updating our study materials, and we shall be uploading them here. See you in the next video. Practice with me, code along with me, debug with me. Innocent Junior Mukwaya, Midge Tech Hacks. See you, and let's find each other in the next coming tutorial. Bye bye.